Alright guys, let's look at isotopy. Now what is isotopy? As the name implies, isotopy is a phenomenon whereby atoms of the same element, please take note, atoms of the same element has the same atomic number but different mass number, which resulted from different number of neutrons. Isotopy is a phenomenon whereby elements or atoms of the same element has the same atomic number but different mass number, which result from different number of neutrons. Now, these atoms that exhibit isotopy or this phenomenon are known as isotopes. They are known as what? Isotopes. For instance, the normal hydrogen has three isotopes, which are protium, deuterium, and tritium. All has atomic number of 1, but the mass number are 1, 2, and 3. Now we know that the atomic mass is equal to the number of proton plus neutron, and the atomic number is equal to the number of proton. If the atomic number is equal to the number of proton and that is equals to 1, the atomic mass here is what? 1. So this becomes 1 is equals to number of proton is 1 plus n. Our n will be equal to, take this one to this side, becomes 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is equals to 0, and 0 is equals to n. It means that this isotope has the number of neutrons as 0. That is to say that protium, as an isotope of hydrogen, has number of neutrons as 0, atomic mass as 1, and number of proton as 1. Let's go to deuterium. Same thing is applicable here. Our number of neutrons for deuterium will now be what? Will be equal to atomic mass minus the number of proton. If you make number n subject of the formula here, P comes here and becomes atomic mass minus P. And this becomes n is equal to the atomic mass for deuterium is what? 2 minus the number of proton is 1. 2 minus 1, this gives us 1. Are we getting it now? So it means that neutron has the number of deuterium has the number of neutrons equals to 1. This one has this as 0. Same thing is applicable to tritium. For tritium now, atomic mass is 3, atomic number or the number of proton is 1, and this equals to 2. So n is equals to 2. So you see these elements, they have the same number of proton all through, which is the atomic number. But the number of neutron different as appreciably or differs appreciably. You see that the neutron here is 0, neutron here is 1, neutron here is 2, and hence the atomic mass what differs appreciably, because the atomic mass is the number of proton plus neutron. So if the neutron, if one of them differs, it means that the atomic mass will surely be what? Different. Is that clear? So that is the idea of isotopy. Any atoms of the same element or atoms of the same element that have the same atomic number but different mass number, which results from different number of neutrons, are known as what? Isotopes. Now, the isotopes of elements, you can actually detect them using the mass spectroscopy and the rest, but we are not going into those details. Now, we have other elements that exhibit isotopy, not just hydrogen only. We have chlorine. Chlorine has chlorine 35 and chlorine 37. We have copper. Copper exhibits isotopy also. We have rubidium. All these elements, they exhibit isotopy. Even carbon. You have carbon 12 carbon 13 and carbon 14 and carbon 14. All these are what? They are isotopes of elements. Isotopes usually occur in nature in form of percentages. Are we getting it? These percentages we call it what? The natural percentage abundance. That is to say, if we have an isotope, now the element is a combination of the isotopes that occurs in nature. Let's take it like that. The element is a combination, or the atom is a combination of all the isotopes that occurs in nature. For instance, when you see something like, let's say, carbon, or let's say chlorine. Now, this chlorine atom is gotten from two isotopes of chlorine, which is chlorine 35 and chlorine what? 37. These two isotopes of chlorine combine together in various what? Percentage natural abundances to give what? This chlorine 35.5. Chlorine 35.5. So we are going to look at the formula for calculating all this. Now, one should know that your percentage abundance is given in percent. Let's take it like this. The percentage abundance is given in what? In percent. Secondly, one should also know that the sum of all percentage abundance, the sum of all percentage abundance of the isotope must be equal to 100%. The sum of all percentage abundances must be equal to what? 100%. So if you have three isotopes, let's say the three isotopes, the percentage abundances of two of the isotopes are given to you. For instance, they gave you an element and three isotopes. Let's say the percentage abundance is S and what? Y. And you may ask, find the percentage abundance of the third isotope, because there are three. Now you can say, let the third isotope, the percentage abundance of the third be equals to what? Z. Now we know that X plus Y plus Z must be equal to 100. So to find Z, what do? You take S and Y to this side, and Z will be equal to what? 100 minus what? S plus Y. Are we getting it now? Now, this is an exam question. It usually comes out every year. Is that clear? So if I give you two isotopes, and I give you the percentage abundance of one of the isotopes to be 25, what will be the percentage abundance of the second isotope? Remember, there are two. Now we said that the sum of all the percentage abundance is equal to what? 100. So if one is already given to you as 25, it means the other one becomes what? X. So S plus 25 must be equal to 100. Is that clear? Must be equal to 100. X will be 100 minus 25, and X will be equals to 75%. Now, in some cases, you will be given one of the isotope, but not given the other. Now, it is left for you now to use that ideology that the sum of all percentage abundances must be equal to 100. The sum must be equal to 100. So if I give you four isotopes, let's say S, A, B, C, D. A plus B plus C plus D must be equal to 100. The natural percentage natural abundance of all must be equal to 100. Now, what is the usefulness of the percent natural abundance? The percent natural abundance tells us the percentage of the isotope that exists in nature. Are we getting it now? That contribute to the total atom. Is that clear? The percentage that exists in nature that contributes to the total atom is the percentage natural abundance. Now, in some cases, solving with percentage natural abundance may be what? Cumbersome. Are we getting it now? So it's proper for us to convert to the fractional abundance, fractional natural abundance. Now, this is born from the fact that we can convert from percentage to fraction. For instance, if I give you, let's say, B percent, convert B percent to fraction. I believe this is primary 6 mathematics. B percent to fraction. What do? The B over what? 100, isn't it? Right? Yes. Now, if I give you convert 25% to fraction, to be what? 25 over 100, which equals to 0.25 as the fraction, isn't it? So we can easily convert from percentage abundance to fractional abundance. So we say that the fractional abundance of the isotope is equal to, the fractional abundance is equal to the percentage abundance, let's say percentage A all over 100. Fractional abundance equals to percentage abundance over 100. So if I should give to you, for instance, an element has atomic mass of has the percentage abundance as 98. Now, how do you convert it to fractional abundance? Percentage abundance is what? 98. Our fractional abundance will be 98 divided by 100, and this is equal to 0.98%. Now, it should be noted that the sum of all natural abundances must be equal to 1. The sum of all natural abundances must be equal to 1. Are we getting it now? So, if you are given the isotopes and the natural abundances, you've been able to detect one, you should be able to detect the other one, because the sum of all natural abundances must be equal to 1. So, by convention, the sum of all percentage abundances must be equal to 100, and the sum of all fractional abundance must be equal to 1. So if you are given an isotope and we are given that the fractional abundance, let's say 2 isotopes, the fractional abundance of one of the isotope is this 0.25 here. Fractional abundance of one of the isotope is 0.25. Find the fractional abundance of the second isotope. Now, to find the fractional abundance of the second isotope, we know that the sum of all fractional abundances must be equal to 1. So we say let the order be x. So this plus x is equal to 1, isn't it? Our x will be equal to 1 minus 0.25, and 1 minus 0.25 will give us 0.75%, 0.75. So this is the fractional abundance of the second isotope. Are we getting it now? So let's take the calculation for solving the atomic weight, because we said that the sum or the atomic weight of the element is a contribution, or is the sum of the contribution that is made by each of the isotope. So the formula for solving for the atomic weight is, the formula for solving for atomic weight is, now the atomic weight, let's use AW as atomic weight, is equal to the summation. Are we getting in this sum of, let's use FA, fractional abundance, times the isotopic mass of each of the isotope. Are we getting it now? Times the isotopic mass of each isotope. So for you to get the atomic weight, you must get the fractional abundance of each of the isotope times the isotopic mass, then you add them together. Are we getting it now? Because we said that the atomic weight is the contribution. That means when you add all the isotope, the contribution that all the isotope makes together, it gives you the atomic weight. Are we getting? That is the meaning of this summation here. So the contribution made by each isotope to the atomic weight is given by this formula. The percentage of it, the fractional abundance times isotopic mass. So for instance, if you are given this question, let's take question 1. Question 1 says that, what is the atomic weight of a hypothetical element consisting of two isotopes, one with mass of 64.23 AMU. Now, they gave you, let's use A and B because said hypothetical element. So we say isotope A has mass of 64.23 AMU. Now, when they say hypothetical element, it means any element that is experimental. Are we getting it? We are not considering particular element now. We are assuming assumption, experimental element. Are we getting it now? We are not saying this is for hydrogen or for this particular atom or element. That's why we say hypothetical. Now, the isotope A has isotopic mass of 64.23. Now, the percentage abundance of this one is 26.0%. Percentage abundance is 26.0%. Now, for isotope B, it has atomic mass of 65.32 AMU. Now, you are not given the percentage abundance, but you know something very, very important, or you know something. That thing is the sum of all percentage abundance is equal to 100. So let's say the percentage abundance of this isotope, let it be equal to S, isn't it? So we can say that our X plus 26.0 is equal to 100%. Are we getting it now? X will be equal to 100 minus 26, and X will be equal to 100 minus 26 is what? Is 74%. So the percentage of the isotope B is 74%. Are we getting it now? It's 74%. Now, have we gotten the percentage of the second isotope as 74%? Now, let's calculate for the fractional abundances of each of the isotope. The fractional abundance. Now, we said the fractional abundance is percentage abundance over 100. So, for isotope A, fractional abundance for isotope A will be equals to percentage abundance for isotope A is what? 26.0 divided by 100. This gives us 26.0 divided by 100, 0.26. So the fractional abundance of isotope A is 0.26. Now, the fractional abundance for isotope B is equal to percentage abundance over 100. Percentage abundance is 74 divided by 100. Are we getting it now? Which is equals to 0.74. Now, having gotten all this, what's the next step for us to take? The next step now is to use the fractional abundance to multiply the isotopic mass and add them together. Okay, so you have everything given here. Isotope A, atomic mass, isotopic mass 64.23. Isotope B, isotopic mass is 65.232, and the fractional abundance is 0.26 and 0.74. So what are we going to do? Now, atomic weight is equal to fractional abundance times isotopic mass. Let's take isotope A for instance. Fractional abundance is what? For isotope A is 0.26 times the isotopic mass is what? 64.23 plus the fractional abundance for isotope B is 0.74 times the isotopic mass is 65.32. Is that clear? 65.32. So what we are going to do is do this multiplication and you get your answer. So our atomic weight is equal to this multiplied by this multiplied by this will give us 16.993 or 16.6993 plus this multiplied by this will give us 48.3368. Now when you add these two together, the atomic weight of the element in question is equals to 65.0361 AMU, which means the atomic weight unit. And this is the atomic weight for what? For copper. So in case they say identify the element is what? Copper. So that is how to solve for the atomic weight given the percentage abundances and the isotopic masses of each of the isotope. What we do, find the fractional abundance from percentage abundance, then from the percentage abundance, from the fractional abundance, multiply with the isotopic mass, and then add the two together. Is that not easy to resolve? It's very, very